Hello, welcome, hi, how you guys doing? Welcome to another Plus One Daily. Today we're gonna dive into something near and dear to my heart. I actually named this blog post 5 Steps to Becoming a Bigger Bookworm. Goes without saying, I love to read. I'll try to turn the camera here so you guys can kind of see the addiction that is my reading. Yeah, anyways, that's 5 of my bookshelves. I also have 2 more. One behind you there you can't see, and then the one there. And there's another one over there. Anyways, I love to read. And one of the things that I think has helped me the most in my online business over the years has been my love of reading. I remember when the first book I actually read when it came to online business was 22 Immutable Laws of Branding by Al Ries, and it kind of set me on this spiral. Then I started reading some Kiyosaki books, I started reading Jeffrey Gitomer books and Seth Godin books, and it really hooked me. So all these books I've read, which is pretty crazy, is only about 10 years or so of reading, which is, it's sizable. But again, listen, I'm addicted to reading, and it's something that you hear a lot. You hear this saying said a lot: readers are leaders and leaders are readers, vice versa. That's fine and dandy for a lot of us. A lot of us are just like, yeah, great, we know that we need to read more, but I'm too busy, I don't have the time. There's this crazy stat that's out there that the majority of people that finish college or university rarely, if ever, pick up another book, or it's something like 1 book a year for the rest of their lives. That's insane. That's absolutely crazy. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're looking at personal growth and to grow as a business person in any aspect of life for that matter, reading is just like, it's your ticket. And like I was saying, nothing has really helped me more, I think, in my online business. All the networking, all the experiments I've done, all the businesses I've launched and websites I've launched, nothing I think has helped me more. Yeah, experience is a great teacher, but learning from some of these giants and getting some of the ideas, learning about the purple cow theory from Seth Godin, learning about 48 Laws of Power from Robert Greene, learning about leadership from John C. Maxwell, sales from Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy and Jeffrey Gitomer. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It's a wealth of knowledge that's there at your fingertips. So reading, I think, is a big thing we need to practice more of. Obviously, this whole blog and everything I do here with Plus One is centered around that. So I was going to give you guys 5 tips on how to become a bigger bookworm. If you're a bookworm right now, this will help you become even bigger bookworm, but I think we all need a little bit of nerdness in our life. We need to dive in and get into some books. So the first thing that I recommend is finding your happy place. And what do I mean by that? No, we're not talking Happy Gilmore here, if anybody knows the reference. We're talking about a spot in your house where you're away from all distractions and you can actually dive into the book and be engaged in it. Now, a lot of times people will grab a book, they'll put it on their bookshelf, their book stand before they go to bed, read a page or two and start drifting off. To me, the more effective thing to do is to find a spot in your house. For me, it's here, actually, in my office. And I'll show you guys. I put a picture on it, but you can see it down here, kind of, sort of. That's my little chair right there that I sit in. And I don't have my phone on when I'm doing this. I don't have anything. I have a cup of coffee, I have my phone, and I have my journal. And literally, I sit there for an hour a day and read. Now, finding this happy place, there's distractions and there's crazy stuff that goes on in your house. This comes to point number 2. You have to be intentional about it. You have to literally tell your life, I'm spending at least 30 minutes a day, and I'm going to be intentional about it. This is what I'm doing for these 30 minutes each and every day. And if you need help with that, again, I recommend reading The One Thing. That'll really help you build positive habits. And if you really want to adopt intentional reading, adopt the One Thing way of doing things. So keep a record of it. 66 days of reading straight. Check it off. At the end of it, you've created a positive habit. We need to be intentional about it. I know there's distractions, but listen, if we can find an hour every Sunday to watch Walking Dead, we can find 30 minutes a day to grow ourselves in business and in life. Third thing I do is I keep a journal, and I keep a whole bunch of journals. In fact, I got journals out the yin-yang. I literally have journals everywhere. But something I learned from John C. Maxwell is while you're reading, you need to write down the messages, the main ideas of each chapter, as well as quotes that you really think can help you grow and learn with the book. So I also use Evernote, which is a free app too. So not only am I writing sometimes in my journal, I'm also taking pictures on Evernote and typing that, what I want to remember. But transferring that into a journal after every day of reading helps you retain more. Remember, we're trying to be intentional about what we're learning and reading. So get into it where you're actually transferring the ideas that are fresh in your mind into a journal so you can revisit them each night, each week, etc., and you're gonna get more from the experience. You're not just gonna read it and then forget it. You're gonna revisit it that day and that week, so it's fresh in your mind. So journaling is a big thing, and if you get quotes too. I mean, you look at this stuff. I print stuff out. I tape it into my journal. I write who the quote is by. It's amazing the stuff you can retain when you start using journaling. Another thing that I do. This is a tip that I actually started developing from this blog and it's writing a list, like keeping a list of the books I'm going to read. I'm actually planning out my month of reading. It seems a little weird, but this really helped me. So I got a rough draft here of what I'm doing. So April, this weekend, I'm reading a book called Operation Blueprint. That'll be the book that I'm reading this weekend. Then April 3rd to the 16th, I'll be doing Start With Why, which is the book we'll be reading together here at Plus One Daily. And then next weekend, I'm going to be reading a book, Fully Alive. So I break my reading up into I read 2 books a week. 2 books every week and a half, let's say. Every weekend I read a book, and then every week and a half, 2 weeks, I'm reading a book for the blog. So I'm scheduling and making a list of the books I want to get through, and this really helps me be accountable. This really helps me stay the course and be focused on what I want to read. So if I'm intentional about it, I'm in my happy reading place. I know that I need to read this weekend. This week I got to get to this, etc., etc. Keeping a list really, it's effective for intentional reading because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to become bigger bookworms. And then finally, part 5 of this is tip number 5 is to join a book club. Now, obviously, this might seem self-serving. I'm talking about the Plus One Daily Book Club. Now, we're still doing, this is learning experience here, okay? This is kind of the first 2 weeks we've been doing this. We're starting our second week here with Start With Why. This may fail miserably, but there's 1,000,001 book clubs out there. Why am I recommending to join a book club? Because there is power in group study. When you take a book and you're breaking it down together, you get different viewpoints. You'll be able to discuss it and learn more of the book from other people and like-minded people that are actually reading it along with you. This is what we're trying to accomplish here at Plus One Daily, to have our book every 2 weeks that we're together every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday discussing the books, discussing the chapters, what we're learning. Again, remember, we're trying to be intentional about our reading, so joining a book club will help the experience. You will learn more, you will retain more, you'll be able to put more into practice what you're learning from the books when you get different opinions and stuff, and almost accountability from people that are actually reading it with you, along with you. So join a book club. If you are looking for the Plus One Daily Book Club, the link is in the post here. You just join our Facebook group. You come and meet with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It doesn't cost a penny. And then every 2 weeks we switch books, and then we start fresh. So on the 3rd of April, which is this Monday coming up after this video has been done, we'll be starting Start With Why by Simon Sinek. That is our book we'll be taking a look at over the next couple of weeks. So there you go. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. These are the 5 steps or 5 tips to becoming a bigger and better bookworm. I hope you fall in love with reading like I have. It really did change my life so many years ago when I started to adopt it, and I was intentional about it. I made sure it was a priority in my life to read each and every day.